Imagine an animal that's been dead for thousands of years, suddenly roaming our world again. Sounds like a movie, but that's exactly what scientists are working on. And this is just the beginning. It doesn't begin with a monster, it begins quietly. Deep in the ice, like frozen for thousands of years, like lies a body, immobile, forgotten, but not destroyed. The woolly mammoth. An animal from another time, built for a world of ice, snow, and endless steppes. Larger than a modern elephant. Thick fur, curved tusks like weapons. A giant. And now imagine. This animal is no longer just a fossil, it's a project. Scientists have extracted DNA from these frozen remains. Fragments of a past that should have vanished forever. In Siberia, at the ends of the earth, the carcasses are thawing due to climate change. We are finding skin, hair, and even liquid blood preserved in the ice for 40,000 years. It's as if nature has pressed the pause button, and we are about to press play again. They're trying to create something new from it. Not a perfect mammoth, but something that comes very close. A hybrid, half past, half present. And that's precisely where it gets uncanny. Because this animal wouldn't return to its old world, but to ours. The problem isn't the animal itself. The problem is everything else. The world in which the woolly mammoth lived no longer exists. The ice age is over. The plants are different. The landscapes have changed. Scientists from companies like Colossal Biosciences, they claim they want to bring back the mammoth to save the planet. They say the mammoths compact the soil in the north, pushing away the snow and thus cooling the permafrost. An army of biological climate saviors, but is that the truth? Or is it the ultimate God complex? If this animal returns, it will have to adapt. And adaptation is dangerous, because if an animal adapts too well, it begins to radically alter the environment. Imagine a herd of these giants. They move through modern forests. They uproot trees as if they were toothpicks. They destroy the vegetation that today's animal species need to survive. And nobody knows where it will end. A fully grown mammoth needs up to 200 kilograms of food a day. When a herd is hungry, no fence in the world can stop it. But the mammoth is just the beginning. Now things get serious. Because when we talk about extinct animal, I know we're not just talking about peaceful giants. We're talking about predators. The nightmare from the shadows, the saber-toothed cat. The saber-toothed cat, Smilodon, a name that evokes prehistoric violence. A predator that looked like it had stepped straight out of a nightmare. Muscular, fast, precise, and with teeth longer than your fingers. Those teeth weren't for show. They were built to pierce flesh. One precise thrust to the soft tissue of the throat, and that was it. The Smilodon wasn't an endurance runner like a wolf. It was a powerhouse. It would leap from the undergrowth onto its prey, pin it to the ground with its massive forepaws, and deliver the fatal bite. Now imagine such an animal moving through modern forests. Not somewhere far away in the wilderness, but in a world where humans are everywhere. Scientists have already sequenced the genomes of big cats similar to the saber-toothed tiger. The temptation to reconstruct the perfect killing machine is strong in some circles, but a predator that has no fear of humans because it has never experienced us as a threat in its evolution is an unpredictable danger. You wouldn't see it coming. In the dense forests of Europe or North America, the Smilodon would be the absolute ruler. It wouldn't need wide steppes. It would only need shade and cover. The ruler of the rivers. Titanoboa. And then there's something else. Something that surpasses everything. Something that reminds us that Earth was once a place where humankind would have been just a small snack. The Titanoboa. The largest snake that ever existed. Over 13 meters long, as heavy as an SUV. It didn't hunt like a lion. It waited. silently, patiently, and then attack. It wrapped itself around its prey and squeezed, slowly, relentlessly, with a force that not only breaks bones but pulverizes them, until nothing was left. Back then, 60 million years ago, the world was much hotter than it is today. And that's precisely what makes it so frightening. The Earth is heating up again. The living conditions for monsters like Titanoboa are returning. Imagine something like this exists again. In the Florida Everglades, in the Amazon swamps, or in the great river systems of Southeast Asia. A predator lurking underwater, invisible to the human eye until it's too late. A creature so large it can encircle an entire cow or a car. This isn't pure fantasy, this is a technological possibility. The dark side of de-extinction. The technology behind it is real, and it's developing faster than many realize. Scientists can now read DNA, alter it, reassemble it. They take fragments from ancient bones, combine them with modern DNA from elephants, tigers, or snakes, and create something new. This is called de-extinction, the bringing back of extinct species. But here's the problem. We're not actually bringing back the past. We're creating something unknown. We're building a chimera, an animal that never existed in exactly that form, a being whose behavior no one can predict. If you insert a mammoth gene into an elephant, you don't know how its brain will react. Will it become aggressive? Will it go insane because it doesn't have a herd to show it how to be a mammoth? Nature isn't an experiment in a laboratory. In laboratories, it's often forgotten that an animal is more than just the sum of its genes. It needs an environment, a social structure, a food chain. If we place these beings in a world they don't know, we create living time bombs. What happens when we lose control? An animal could reproduce too quickly because it has no natural predators. Another could become the dominant species and displace everything else. Ecosystems could collapse because we have introduced a variable that has been absent for millions of years. And then there's something else many forget. Humans are unprepared. We've made our world safe for ourselves. We've built cities, roads, infrastructure. Everything is based on the world as it is now, not on a world where prehistoric animals suddenly exist again. A single mammoth on a highway could cause chaos. A group, a catastrophe. And predators, they wouldn't just be a risk to nature, but a direct threat to anyone who steps outside. Why do we actually want this? Is it really about the environment, or is it about profit? Imagine an amusement park where you can see real saber-toothed tigers. The sums people would pay to touch a live mammoth are astronomical. Where large sums of money are involved, ethics are often ignored. We are playing a game with time, a game whose rules we don't know. Once we've altered the genes, there's no going back. Once these hybrids are in the wild, they will interbreed with existing species. We could genetically contaminate the existing wildlife and create creatures even more dangerous than their ancestors. Imagine the aggression of a prehistoric hunter merging with the intelligence and adaptability of a modern rat or wolf. We could create an invasive species that no weapon or poison could stop. We're not just talking about individual animals in cages. We're talking about a change to the entire biological order of our planet. Scientists are already working on the revival of the passenger pigeon in the Thylacine. These are smaller projects, almost test runs. But the ultimate goal is the giants, the titans, the monsters. Every time a new genetic code is cracked, the return of the Titanoboa comes a step closer. Every time a new gene editing tool like CRISPR is improved, the threshold for the next experiment lowers. Ultimately, it comes down to a simple question. Just because we can, should we? Should we bring back animals like the woolly mammoth, or the saber-toothed cat, or even the titanoboa? Or should some things remain lost forever? We're opening a door and we don't know what lurks behind it. And once these creatures are stomping, creeping, or gliding through our world again, there's no button to turn them off. The past is a dangerous place. Perhaps we should leave it where it belongs, in our dreams and in the deep layers of ice.